things, even if you rarely speak of them. You adapt quietly, adjusting your pace, your expectations, your routines, but inside there is a part of you that wonders when it all became so difficult, when simply getting through the day began to feel like an accomplishment. I have seen the loneliness that hides behind your interactions. You speak with others, you share moments, you fulfill your roles, but there are parts of you that remain untouched, unheard. You have learned to keep certain thoughts to yourself, not because they are unimportant, but because you believe they might be too much for others to carry. And so you protect those around you by carrying more within yourself. I have seen the strength you show to your family, the way you hold steady even when you feel uncertain. You offer guidance, support, and reassurance, even when you yourself are searching for those same things. You become the one others lean on, the one who keeps things together, the one who does not falter. But I see the effort it takes, the quiet cost of always being the strong one. I have seen the moments when doubt enters your mind, not loud or overwhelming, but subtle and persistent. You question whether you have done enough, whether you are enough, whether the path you are on is leading somewhere meaningful. These thoughts come quietly, often when you are alone, and you push them away because you believe you must remain certain. But I have seen every one of them and I understand what they carry. I have seen the tears you have held back, the emotions you have set aside because there was no time, no space, or no permission to feel them fully. You have learned to manage your feelings, to contain them, to move forward without letting them slow you down. But those feelings have not disappeared. They remain waiting for a moment when they can finally be acknowledged. I have seen your efforts to keep everything balanced, even when the scales feel impossible to steady. You try to give your time, your energy, your attention to every area of your life, often leaving little for yourself. You tell yourself that this is what must be done, that this is what responsibility requires, and so you continue even when you feel stretched beyond your limits. I have seen the way you minimize your own needs. You tell yourself that others have it harder, that your struggles are not significant enough to mention. You compare your burdens to those around you and decide that yours should remain unspoken. But I tell you now, your pain does not need comparison to be real. Your exhaustion does not need justification to be valid. I have seen the moments when you longed for someone to truly understand, not just to listen, but to see you completely without judgment or expectation. You have desired a space where you could set everything down, even if only for a moment, and simply be. But those moments have been rare. And so you have continued to carry on, quietly hoping that one day something would ease the weight. I have seen your perseverance. Day after day, you rise and continue, even when you feel depleted. You fulfill your responsibilities, meet your obligations, and show up for others, often without acknowledgement or rest. You have developed a strength that is steady and enduring, but it has come at a cost you rarely admit. I have seen the way you have adapted to this pattern, how it has become familiar, even expected. You no longer question whether it is too much, you simply adjust and continue. But I am telling you now, just because you have learned to carry it, does not mean you were meant to carry it this way. I have seen everything you thought was hidden, every quiet worry, every unspoken fear, every moment of exhaustion you pushed aside. None of it has been lost, none of it has been overlooked. You are not invisible in your struggle, even when it feels that way. And I want you to understand something clearly. You have not been failing, you have been enduring. Every step you have taken, every burden you have carried, every moment you have held yourself together when it felt like too much, these are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of a strength that has been quietly sustaining you. But I do not want you to believe that this is all there is for you. I do not want you to accept this constant weight as your permanent state. I have seen how heavy it has become, and I am not asking you to continue carrying it alone without relief. You have done more than you realize. You have carried more than you should have had to, and still you are here, still moving forward, still holding on. That matters more than you know. I am not distant from your experience. I am not unaware of your struggle. I have been present in every moment, even the ones where you felt most alone. When you believed no one saw, I saw. When you remained silent, I heard. When you felt overwhelmed, I understood. You do not need to prove your strength to me. You do not need to hide your exhaustion or disguise your pain. I have already seen it and I am not turning away from it. I am drawing closer to you in it. So listen to me now. The weight you have been carrying in silence has been noticed. The effort you have been giving without recognition has been seen. The struggle you have kept hidden has been understood. You are not alone in this, even if it has felt that way for a long time. You have come to believe that your weariness is something to hide, something to push past, something that quietly signals you are not strong enough. But I tell you now, that belief has never been true. What you call exhaustion is not weakness. What you feel as heaviness is not failure. It is the evidence of how long you have endured, how faithfully you have continued, how much you have carried without giving up. I have watched you measure your strength by how much you can suppress. You have told yourself that being strong means staying quiet, staying steady, never letting the cracks show. You have believed that if you stop even for a moment, everything might fall apart. And so you keep going, even when your body asks for rest, even when your heart asks for relief, even when your spirit quietly pleads for something to change. But listen carefully to me now. Strength was never meant to look like constant strain. It was never meant to require silence in the face of pain. What you have been doing is not proof that you are unbreakable. It is proof that you have been carrying more than you were ever meant to carry alone. You have confused endurance with isolation. You have convinced yourself that because you can handle it, you must handle it by yourself. You have taken on burdens that were never assigned to you, responsibilities that were never meant to rest entirely on your shoulders. And still, you have carried them with a quiet determination that has gone unseen by many, but never by me. I see how you have continued, even when your energy was gone. I see how you have pushed through days where even simple tasks felt heavy. I see how you have silenced your own needs so that others could be supported, how you have given from a place that was already running low. And you call this weakness? No. This is endurance in its purest form. But I do not want you to misunderstand me. Endurance is not meant to become your permanent condition. It is not meant to replace peace, nor is it meant to define your entire life. There is a difference between passing through a difficult season and living as though the weight will never lift. And somewhere along the way you began to believe that this heaviness was simply how things are meant to be. You have told yourself that rest must be earned, that you must reach a certain point, complete a certain list, solve a certain number of problems before you are allowed to pause. You delay your own relief, promising yourself that one day, when everything is finally under control, you will allow yourself to breathe. But that day keeps moving further away, does it not? Because there is always more to do, more to carry, more to manage. I did not design you to live this way. I did not intend for you to spend your days proving your worth through exhaustion. You are not valuable because of how much you can endure. You are not worthy because of how much you can carry without complaint. Your value has never been tied to your ability to suffer in silence. You have also believed that asking for help is a form of weakness, that if you speak honestly about how tired you are, it might diminish the way others see you. You fear becoming a burden, so you choose to remain one to yourself instead. You protect others from your struggle, even as it quietly grows within you. But I ask you now, what has that silence truly given you? Has it brought you peace? Has it lightened your load? Or has it only made the weight feel heavier, the loneliness deeper, the exhaustion more constant? There is a kind of strength you have not fully allowed yourself to embrace. It is not loud, and it is not built on constant effort. It is the strength to acknowledge your limits, the strength to admit when you are tired, the strength to recognize that you were never meant to be everything for everyone, all the time. You have been holding yourself to a standard that leaves no room for your own humanity. You expect yourself to keep going without pause, to remain steady without support, to endure without expression. And when you feel yourself faltering even slightly, you judge yourself for it. You question your resilience, your discipline, your worth. But I do not judge you in this way. I see your weariness, and I do not see failure. I see a soul that has been giving continuously, a heart that has been trying to hold too much, a life that has been stretched beyond what it was meant to sustain alone. Your tiredness is not something to be ashamed of. It is a signal. It is your body, your mind, your spirit all speaking at once, asking for attention, asking for care, asking for space to recover. Ignoring it does not make you stronger. It only delays what you truly need. You have been living as though stopping is dangerous, as though rest will cause everything to unravel. But I tell you, constant strain is what truly threatens your well-being. You cannot continue pouring from an empty place and expect to feel whole. There is nothing noble about running yourself into the ground. There is nothing honorable about carrying pain in silence when relief is available to you. You have been taught, perhaps by life, perhaps by experience, that strength means enduring at all costs. But I am telling you now, strength also means knowing when to release, when to step back, when to allow yourself to be supported. You are allowed to feel what you feel without labeling it as weakness. You are allowed to be tired without seeing it as failure. You are allowed to need rest without believing you have not done enough to deserve it. You have already done more than enough. There are moments you look at yourself and wonder why you cannot keep up the same pace you once did. You compare yourself to your past, to others, to expectations that no longer fit who you are now. And in that comparison, you feel as though you are falling short, but you are not falling behind. You are changing, and with that change comes a different rhythm, a different need, a different way of moving through your days. You are not meant to live as though nothing affects you. You are not meant to carry emotional weight without expression, physical strain without rest, mental pressure without relief. These are not signs of strength. They are signs that something within you is asking to be acknowledged. And I am asking you now to listen. Listen to the tiredness you have been ignoring. Listen to the quiet voice within you that has been asking for a slower pace, a gentler approach, a moment to simply exist without demand. That voice is not trying to weaken you. It is trying to guide you back to balance. You have spent so much time proving that you can handle everything that you have forgotten you do not have to. Let that truth settle within you. You do not have to carry everything. You do not have to solve everything. You do not have to be everything for everyone. And most importantly, you do not have to do it all alone. There is a freedom you have not yet fully allowed yourself to experience, the freedom of release. Not giving up, not walking away from your life, but loosening your grip on the belief that everything depends entirely on you. That belief has kept you moving, but it has also kept you burdened. You are not the source of all solutions. You are not the foundation that must hold every weight. You are part of something greater, something that does not require you to exhaust yourself to prove your place within it. I am not asking you to stop caring. I am not asking you to abandon your responsibilities. I am asking you to see them differently, to carry them with awareness instead of pressure, to approach them with steadiness instead of strain. There is a difference between responsibility and overburden. You have crossed that line without realizing it, not because you intended to, but because you have been trying to do what you believed was right. And I understand that, but now I am guiding you towards something better. Your weariness is not your identity. It is not who you are. It is simply a sign that you have been strong for a very long time without enough rest. And that can change. You are not losing your strength. You are being invited to redefine it. True strength is not measured by how much you can carry before you collapse. It is measured by your willingness to care for yourself as deeply as you care for others. It is found in your ability to pause, to breathe, to acknowledge your limits without shame. And I am with you in this shift. I am not asking you to transform everything at once. I am asking you to begin noticing, to recognize when you are pushing too far, to allow yourself small moments of rest without guilt, to speak, even if only quietly at first, about what you have been holding inside. You do not have to prove anything to me. You do not have to earn your rest, your peace, your care. These are not rewards for endurance. They are part of what you were always meant to receive. So release the idea that your exhaustion is a failure. Release the belief that strength means silence. Release the pressure to carry everything perfectly. You have been strong for a long time. Now it is time to be supported within that strength. You have been living as though everything depends on you, as though if you loosen your grip for even a moment, something important will slip away. I have watched you hold tightly to responsibilities, to expectations, to outcomes you feel you must control. You carry them carefully, constantly aware, constantly alert, believing that if you do not